Without the faith, I wouldn't be here. I've been doing this practice for almost a year right now. I keep on saying to myself that, Dad, I trust you. I love you. I have a faith in you every single time. Whenever, you just go through certain type of a life, a certain type of a day. I trust him more than myself. I have a faith in him.
Before we dive back into today's conversation, I want to share something important. This episode includes a paid partnership with BetterHelp, a platform designed to make starting therapy easier. I know from my own journey as a leader and entrepreneur that life can sometimes feel overwhelming. There are seasons where stress, uncertainty, and pressure build up, and you need a safe space to process it all. That's where therapy comes in. Therapy isn't only for people facing clinical challenges. It's a space to reflect, grow, and find better ways to manage stress, relationships, and personal goals. It takes courage to seek help, but it's also one of the smartest investments you can make in your mental and emotional well-being. That's why I'm proud to highlight BetterHelp. With BetterHelp, you simply fill out a short questionnaire and get matched with a credentialed therapist in just a couple of days. If the first match doesn't feel like the right fit, you can easily switch therapists at no extra cost until you find someone who truly connects with you. Inside the platform, you'll also find tools like journaling and group sessions on different topics that can support your growth. And with over 7,000 reviews and a 4.5 Trustpilot rating, BetterHelp is a platform you can rely on. So if you feel like you'd benefit from talking to a therapist, visit betterhelp.com/King Dems. That's betterhelp.com/King Dems to get 10% off your first month of therapy. Once again, this is a paid partnership with BetterHelp, and I encourage you to take that first step if you've been thinking about it. Sometimes the best investment you can make is in yourself.
Welcome to the King Dems podcast, where we share the stories of extraordinary people and dissect hot, relevant topics that shape our world. From visionary leaders to trailblazing creatives, we uncover the mindset, strategy, and grit behind greatness. Whether it's business, culture, or personal growth, we ask the real questions. This isn't just conversation, it's transformation. The King Dems podcast. Your next breakthrough starts here.
Music licensing reimagined.
Welcome to Diary of a CFO, your essential podcast delivering unfiltered insights from visionary CFOs and finance leaders who are shaping the business world. Here, we combine powerful storytelling, strategic mastery, and cutting-edge financial insights to empower your growth. Explore real-world successes and explore accounts of challenges, wins, pivots, and strategic turnarounds. Get deep financial insights required to navigate today's complex business ecosystem with confidence and clarity. Gain exclusive access to top finance minds and learn the strategies driving innovation, financial agility, and growth mindset leadership. Diary of a CFO, inside the modern CFO's mind, real stories, real strategies, future finance. Don't miss out. Listen, subscribe, and join the conversation today.
We're live, ladies and gentlemen. You once again welcome to the King Dems podcast, The Diary of a CFO. And today we've got with us a very, very important personality. Fighting out of London, England, by way of Chennai, India. But welcome, an entrepreneur, excellence, GMS Kumar. And when the action begins, the co-host in the studio is no other the world best Ruth. Are you ready to rumble? Let us go. GMS, as widely known in the professional space, and Kumar, as us close contacts, refer to you. You're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for inviting me, AI and Novella. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Today on the King Dems podcast, we sit with a man whose journey feels like a film you would watch to remind yourself that nothing is impossible. GMS Kumar began selling buttermilk on Chennai streets at 13. Today, he is an entrepreneur who builds platforms to solve real problems for real people across the UK, EU, and India. He is the mind behind the worktop stock marketplace, transforming the stone industry using AI. He is also the founder of myproject.ai, a fast-growing project management platform that connects homeowners with skilled traders while bringing efficiency and trust to the construction ecosystem. Mar has lived multiple lives, entrepreneur, innovator, law practitioner, community builder, family man with purpose. His story is a masterclass in resilience, mindset, adaptability, and innovation. The Kingdom's focus is indexed in over 90 countries, and conversations like this shape for leaders and founders who will shape tomorrow. Mar, we honor your journey. Thank you for being here. Let us build.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for inviting me as well. Thank you. Great guys. It's a good. I believe that the God has really blessed us to be here to talk at this minute, and I really thankful to him. Thank you.
Wow. Let's start from the origin. Fire to water.
So, Kumar, you started selling buttermilk on the streets of only 13 years old. A lot of times, as a parent, we try and get our kids involved and start a business, start working sometimes as a young age. Is that kind of what happened for you, where it was introduced by your parents, or was it something that you wanted to take initiative on yourself?
Uh, it's a family thing. It's a uh, my mom. Of course, we had a decent family life. I used to ask my mom, "Are you really my mom, or you're a stepmom to me?" Because you have the dad is doing the business, and the family is running okay, but every family has the financial situations, but we never see, but I never seen sending a child in the age of 13 to do something which is different, which is completely different. But I really feel I really thankful to my mom right now, because what she has done that day, and I'm doing it because that energy, that consistency, that's keep on fighting for it. It's nothing you get it for free, and you, if you need something, you need to work for it. The luck, this is not in real world. You understood what I mean? Like, I used to wake up at 4 o'clock. My mom wake me at 4 o'clock in the morning, and then we start preparing the buttermilk, and we pack it, and then we supply for nearly 7 to 10 kilometers in and around from my house. Supply buttermilk in the morning. Then I have to go to the school after finishing the buttermilk. So my school is around 9 o'clock. So I'll be reaching the school by 8:45, something 8:50, something like that. Then I'm not only done the buttermilks. After 3 o'clock, I have to work in a theater. So I work as a coffee boy, selling coffees in theaters during the break times. So those times, now we have a machines, yeah. So now, in those times there is no machines. So you have to prepare the tea and coffee pre-prepared, and then they keep it in a box, in a hot vessel, and you have to distribute. And then, so I was doing that. I do the first break. Usually the movie starts at 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock in South India, in Chennai. So the first one which been done by someone, but I will join in the second break. So the second show starts at 3 o'clock. So they're usually the theaters run in a four shows. So I go exactly during the interval time, just before, like a 15-20 minutes to prepare it, and then I will sell the tea. Then I will go back to the places where I have to collect the money, because I drop the buttermilk in the morning. So they have to make sure they are selling it, and then they give the money to us. So I have to do the collection job in the evening. Then again, once the job is done, again I'll come back to home and relax myself, and then again I will go back to the theater at 6:30, 7 o'clock, where this third show break will happen. Again, I will stay from 7:30 till 11 o'clock in theater, and then I will come back to home by around 11 or 11:15 or 11:30, something like that. So, so this is my routine. I've been doing this for almost until 17, nearly 3-4 years. So I really thankful to my mom. That energy until today. Until today, I've been living in the UK for almost 15 to 18 years now. I vaguely remember I never worked for anyone. I always, I had a job, I had a business. I've been doing a business from the day when I've been here. If my understanding is right, I stopped working for somebody nearly 15 years before. So I haven't worked for anybody for the last 15 years. And that, something keep on coming. One is not there. Another other opportunity comes. I don't say no. I never said no. Maybe now I decided to pick what is right, what is wrong, which business I should enter, which business I shouldn't enter. But I never say no. If there is an opportunity, if the opportunity is genuine, as long as I can able to make money ethically, and I always feel that the person giving the money to me, they should feel happy, and the
Mm-hmm.
person taking money from me, they also should feel happy. I love seeing the smiling face, and I enjoy seeing the smiling face. So that's I really thankful for my mom.
So that's rather incredible because obviously we're speaking about entrepreneurship, and it sounds like at a very, very young age that it was kind of thrust upon you by your mother. And it's so funny how so many people, a lot of our audience right now can be watching, and maybe they are entrepreneurs or they're aspiring entrepreneurs and they're reading books. We have countless books, countless podcasts, countless videos. We're just flooded with content on the internet telling us how to do it, how to be the best entrepreneur, what is the it factor, how do we do it efficiently, and all of these things. What are the habits we need? What's the mindset we need? What are the tools that we need? And I would agree with you with that gratefulness to your mother, just having that situation thrust upon you, for you to learn at a very young age that it really is about from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to bed. It's um it's a lifestyle for sure, and it sounds like you had to embody that lifestyle at a very, very young age. So when you're going through the rest of your career, it was already second nature to you. It was already natural to you. So that's really amazing to hear. What specifically, when we're looking back on your childhood and you're having these 16-hour days or, however long they are at the age of 13, was there a specific moment, maybe at in the early hours, 4 in the morning, maybe in between shifts when you're sitting at school, or maybe later in the evening when you're collect was there a specific moment that you can think about that helped really shape your identity as an entrepreneur?
To be honest, no. I always want to make sure my mom is happy. Her smile, making sure she's happy. My father, he's also, it's a position where they are the true ideal in your world, right? Like you don't have whatever they say, and you just follow that. That's it. Yeah. If they say my cousin brothers or my niece, they are really good. Okay, fine. Okay, so they are thinking they are good, so we have to make sure that we are becoming like that. And it's a real surprise is none of my family members are doing any business, none of them, either from my father's side or from my mother's side. None of them are doing a business. And I'm really thankful to the god that I'm the first person from the family settled in abroad and doing a business in abroad, and with the so many people. I'm sure that a lot of people they struggle to come to the UK, and I'm really really blessed. I'm really really thankful to the God that I had an opportunity to come to the business, and from the day one I came to UK from the day one I was an entrepreneur. I took a property to do the bed and breakfast business, and from the day one, before even I step into this land, the God blessed me that I was recruiting a number of students, and I was recruiting. I was doing supporting the immigration for a lot of Indian students. And then when I stepped in, from the day one, I was doing everything as an entrepreneur. I never been, all because it's what I learned from my engage, from my childhood. You know, uh, uh, see the opportunity, every opportunity. I'm 100% sure anybody doing the business, it's not going to be an easy life. It's not going to be a simple, not going to be a 9 to 5 lifestyle. No, definitely not. See, it's what you want in your life. That's the key. And what is the calling you have in your life? That's the second key. And how you're going to use the God-given gift to you. The gift is given by the God. And if you're not going to use it, somebody going to use it and somebody is going to do it. It doesn't mean that it's not going to happen. No, I have seen a lot of ideas which goes in my mind, and somebody doing that idea. Yeah, somebody doing that idea. It's because that I haven't used the God-given gift. And the God spoke to us and he said he is given a vision that this is something is there. So it is our responsible. And I'm really, really thankful for what I had in my childhood.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And you're spot on when you talk about gifts. And having that mindset of, okay, well, if I don't act on this, if I don't act on my purpose or act on my gift, it's going to go to somebody else who's ready. And it's going to go to somebody else asking for that opportunity. Because we do have opportunities that come to us if we are open. But if we don't understand that, I guess I would say if we're particular about the types of gifts that we want to use, and we have a wide range of gifts, but we're only particular, okay, I only want to use this type, then we're going to miss out on a lot of the opportunities that are coming to us. You've been able to really understand that mindset throughout your career, particularly because you've also been able to work across several different industries. So you've worked in education consulting, immigration law, stone importation. What gave you the courage or what helped you reinvent yourself over and over and over when you're moving through different industries?
As I said to you, love making people to smile. I enjoy seeing people to smile. Okay. I'm not a good comedian to make somebody to laugh. But when I see, in real life, when the people, so when I started the buttermilk business, I saw the joy in the people buying the buttermilk because we used to give the better quality one making from the home. And so that's where, but I didn't realize because that's the very engaged, right? So you don't know what you're enjoying, what you really like. You don't understand that. So then I worked as a cameraman. I worked in like a videography company, they take a wedding. I worked as a courier boy. I worked as a sales executive. I worked as a telephone selling guy, going to the streets of Chennai, selling a telephone boxes. It's all, I have done almost every job, and then I was I had an opportunity to work for a guy who said, I lost a job. I had work. I was working with the one call center, and they all of a sudden they winded up the call center, and they said, sorry, we are going to. Okay, then I said, okay, fine. What we are going to do it, because I was recently married at that time. And then I have to take care of the family, because that's one of the big thing, because I lost my mom in very young age. My mom died when I was in 16. So, and my father was not there. So I was all alone. I was having an younger sister. And so she was staying with my uncle, but I still need to take care of her. The responsibility is more. So you need to take care of your daughter, your son. your wife and your sister, you have a big commitment. You want to make sure that you are taking, it's end of the day, you want to see the smile in their face. Okay. So what I did, I had an opportunity to work as a consultant for an education company. They used to recruit the students in UK. And I said to him, see, if you make me to work, I will be just a normal worker. But we do one thing. Give me the target. What do you want? And then I can make sure that I do the target. I will achieve the target. What are you talking about? I don't know what happened to him. I really say that the God has spoke to him. I believe so. That person don't even know me. He just deposited the money to open a new branch in different city in Madurai. I was in Chennai. From Chennai, I just went to Madurai. He said, do me a favor then. You go to Madurai and then see the good place. And we can open the branch over there. And I thought, okay, so he is going to open the branch. I'm going to handle the branch. That's what I was thinking. You understood what I mean? I didn't expect that he is actually investing the money on that branch and asking me to run that branch. It was a huge, see, how come a person, imagine, I'm talking to somebody right now, and the money he invested at that particular time, it's equivalent to today's 50,000 pounds. So he don't even know me. He just seen me a couple of times. That's it. And he said, go. And then I went there. We did really, really whatever he did for 3-4 years, we did it in a 1 year. The counts which he has done, the equivalent to that count, we have done it in a 12 months. He was so impressed. And then I had an opportunity to come to the UK. I thought, okay, fine. I'm doing the education consulting. So if I need to serve better to my clients, I need to learn the immigration. So I went to the solicitor firm, and then everything you do it to do better. Yeah. So I went to I had an opportunity. It's an amazing. His name is Dr. Nagules, and he's one of the unimaginable immigration practitioner. He's a doctor, and he worked in a Sri Lankan Human Rights Commission. He's a massive knowledge person. He said one thing: I can teach you immigration, but I won't pay you. You need to work for free. But you have one thing you can get in return. You can study any file in this firm, and you can ask me any question. I can make sure that you completely get trained. So I used to go, because I need to make sure that my family also need to be taken care of. So 3 days, sometimes 4 days in a week, I work for him with no cost. And it is not a part-time, it's a full-time. Because he said very clearly, if you're coming, you need to make sure you're coming at morning 9:30. And make sure you're leaving not before 5:30. So it's like a proper office work. I will start at morning 9:30. I will do it till 5:30. But I learned a lot. Every single thing. I went to the first right tribunal. I went to the upper tribunal. I sat in the courts. I saw the practice, what they're doing. It was awesome. So that knowledge helped me to give a best to my clients, the clients which I've been doing as a business. Even I was doing a business at that time. So every knowledge which I gained, make sure 99.9 success rate in the immigration, 99.9%. What he taught me is, it's absolutely amazing thing. Make sure the home office believe your firm, believe when you're signing or when you're representing a case, make sure they believe you. The moment they believed you, and things will happen automatic. So I really, I'm really thankful for that. Then, you're in your life, when you're doing a process of growing faster, sometimes you started doing here and there wrong, the stuff. And something I felt that I'm not going the way the God, given the purpose, something which is not right. Okay, fine. So the person, because in the immigration, we don't make much money when you're doing it genuinely. It's a usual practice for a, it's making an individual. If you say, imagine yourself that you're you're going to say, don't worry, this case is just ordinary stuff. We can win this matter in 50 days. Do you think the client will pay big money? No, they don't pay the big money. So I was so genuine to my clients. Unfortunately, I was unable to make family life. I'm unable to keep up my bills because when you're too genuine, and then you end up,
Integrity is key.
yeah, yeah. So you end up in doing something. Okay, fine. What need to be done? What are the other opportunity? Then I said, okay, fine. The people giving the money to me, they are not happy. They're not comfortable, which makes me, because you end of the day, you're earning to run your family, you're earning to run your basic needs. That's what you start your life in the UK. So you're not going to immediately, you're not going to having that much of a big money and you're going to make a building, or no, nothing. It's not going to happen. Then I said, okay, I'm going to do something different which will makes everyone happy. So that's how I started the granite business. That's how I entered into the granite business. And to run the granite business, I want to do it better. So I learned the technology to serve, how to serve a lot of our customers. See, from childhood, I always loved to do a massive impact. If you ask me to sell 10 pieces of something, I always focus on 1,000 pieces, how to sell the 1,000 pieces rather than selling a 10 pieces.
Mm-hmm.
You understood what I mean? From the childhood, it's been there. When I used to, because in the age of 15, I was selling 1,000 buttermilk in a day, which is a huge money. It's a huge money. So I always thought about doing something massive. So I said, okay, fine.
Mindset,
It's
skill set, tool set.
exactly. So I said, okay, fine. So I quit the immigration law practice. I said, this is not something. It's not going to make us happy. It's not going to help us to make an ethical way of making money. So I went into the granite business. I started the granite. It is a toughest days. It is toughest days in the life. You've been as a people usually see you when you're doing an immigration, when you do have so much of a success rate. People see you as like a god. People think, oh my goodness, if I go to this guy, if I, this guy will help me to get the visas to stay in the UK. But from that life, I went to very worst life, because selling a stone, the stone industry, it is 90% of the people. When I was entering, 90% of the people, they are a second generation or third generation running business. So how do you think that they will treat you? And first thing is, according to them, I'm from a different nationality. I'm not from here. I'm from different country. Second, they are not sure whether this quality of the stone which they are expecting I'm going to produce or not. Third, whether I'm a trustable guy or not. So I had a very, very tough time. I believe nearly we lost 250,000 pounds to 500,000 pounds. I lost in the first 2 to 3 years of my business.
Wow. Sorry to interrupt you, Kumar, right? You're just alluding to something we have said on the podcast before. In order to make money, you need three things. You need credibility, you need authority, and you need a monetization funnel. And those are the three things you just alluded to right now. And I appreciate you very much for being on the podcast and of course sharing your story. It's really, really amazing. So I'll let you continue your train of thoughts, but just thought to give you some props and appreciation of your mindset and the skill set and your tool set.
Sure, sure, sure. So this is why. Even now, I'm starting, because everyone said to me, Kumar, you're 40. Don't do anything stupid. Don't start anything new. And what you're doing right now, try to be in the same what you're doing. No, no, I'm looking for something really great. I'm looking something. This is not something that God has called me for. So we started the software company. I failed in the last 10 years. I have lost everything in my life, almost zero. Again, I restarted it. And now we have a company which has worktops.com, an average of a 50 to 70,000 users every month. They use the worktops.com. And the people said, okay, fine. You done the something in a worktops, just stick onto it. Don't go something new. I said, no, because this is not something which I was looking for. I'm looking something completely new. So every problem, every pain I have gone through, I just want to make sure that somebody not shouldn't go through the same thing. So that's how the myproject.ai started. Dragon customer started. We adopted the school in India. It's a SAP foundation, and we are educating nearly 15 to 20 students right now. It's completely government school. We adopted it, and we are providing everything in the infrastructure, everything for them. And you cannot stop, right? You cannot stop thinking. You cannot stop doing something different. You cannot be, because if you're really hungry, if you're really thirsty to do something real impact in the people, then you should do something different. And a lot of times, of course, it's a mind, right? It's a very tricky thing. It's a if we win our mind, we can win everything. That's really true. But sometimes this mind tells you, no, man, you have to be a comfortable life. What you're doing right now is you're going to lose everything. I believe I really thankful to the God, that He has given the opportunity, and I have come so much far to make this impact. If I stop, some of the times this is the question goes in my mind. You have come across so much long way. Few roads are completely lonely walk. Completely lonely walk. And then if you're going to give up right now, what is the use of those walks? You know?
That's actually something that AI was talking about last night in a personal conversation we were having. He actually mentioned the same thing. We're talking about how if God is taking you through these failures, which if you're an entrepreneur, you are very familiar with failure. And it's not just once, okay? It's about multiple times. It's very natural to be a friend to failure. Make failure your friend if you're listening to this podcast and you are a business owner or an entrepreneur. So I just think it's so funny. But yes, AI was talking about how when we are walking through these failures and you have a calling on your life or you have a mission on your life for a business or a purpose, or you understand the people, you see the people who are relying on you, relying on your success and relying on you to follow through. What happens if you just stop? And in my mind, I envision like this desert, like walking through a desert. And it's like, okay, well, what if you stop? If you're if you're halfway through the desert, what are you going to do? You're just gonna lay down in the desert? It's just not an option. So we love to hear that type of mindset from individuals who understand that yes, it's a relentless journey. And yes, it involves sometimes relentless failure, but it does let up. It's not forever relentless. It does break. And, we talk about faith a lot on this podcast, but, through faith and perseverance and being creative, even that's another thing that we're really talking about when we are not only changing industries, sometimes, but just going with the flow of possibilities and opportunities is having space of creativeness and having that mindset of, okay, well, don't just want to do the bare minimum. I want to execute it exponentially. So like you said, I don't want to sell 10, I want to sell 10,000. So having that type of intention does really help you drive through to the next level. Just having massive goals and massive dreams. With that being said, you've described yourself as an entrepreneur and a dad with purpose. What does purpose mean for you? since becoming a father? How has that shifted, and what's really been how would you describe your purpose now that it's shifted a little bit?
See, I married in a very young age. Very young age. I married in 20. And when I had my son, at that time, I believe we were in 21 or 22. So you don't understand the father's role. It's too early to understand the father's role. You become a father so early, and then you don't understand it. By the time you understood, my son has grown. But I have a beautiful daughter, which she born after 8 years after my son. And that's like, being she is the only advocate in your family to talk on behalf of the father. It's the usual stuff. You understood what I mean? So before even it realized, I I had a situation that, my ex-wife, she said, I'm sorry, you're making too much of a failure, and I have something, a different journey to go on. So with 18 years married life, it came to an end. And she took the my daughter with her, and unfortunately I couldn't see her for almost 1.5 years now. It's I understood the value right now. That's the purpose. I understood the purpose of being a father, how responsible you have to be. See, of course, I've been as a father, I call myself as a good provider. It doesn't matter whatever it has happened. When you're a leader, when you're an entrepreneur, primarily you're a provider. No matter what you go through, you provide for the people who I have 35 people working in our team right now, and automatically you become a provider. You provide, whether they hurt you, whether they do the job, whether they like it, whether they don't like it. It doesn't matter. They believe you somehow or another. How they are believing you, they're trusting you. And the father, I believe, it's ultimate end of the day, the father's responsibility. Every entrepreneur is indirectly, he's a father. It doesn't matter a father or mother. It's they are a provider. They have to provide for their team. And I really thankful to the God that he has given the opportunity to make the people to believe me and trust me. And he gave me the opportunity to do what I need to do to provide as a father. Still now, my son, he's 19, he's doing a business. And my daughter, on and off, I try to go and see far from her. And it's it's a love. Father is it's a love. You cannot describe, or you cannot tell in a simple words. It's beyond the words I say that. But
Wow.
sometimes it's the life that you have to go through everything to fulfill the calling which has been given to you.
Wow. I'll just touch on what you said a little bit. Like you've been giving me a lot of smiles, and for people that don't know the backstory, myself and Kumar, you know, met recently at a business event in London, England, and we did speak about, mindset, philosophies, skill set, tool sets. And it's interesting how you explained the framework of people connecting. That is, people would always connect if they speak the same language. And a person's personal language is basically formed by their top 200 favorite words. And it's interesting how a lot of the words in your top 200 list are the same as my own top 200 and that of Noella as well. But it's interesting that a lot of things that have been well documented on this podcast would be saying are things that you are iterating. And of course, even something from a personal discussion, yesterday. So I've documented this on this podcast before, and I've said this on the podcast before, that the role of a father, the role of a man in society are three things. Number one, to provide. Number two, to protect. And number three, to preserve. And I'd love for you to speak to those three things, right? To provide, to protect, and to preserve. Do you agree with that? To something that is well
100%.
documented.
100%. 100%. The primary responsible for a human and the God blessed as a man, we have to provide. We have to provide. Of course, we don't understand certain things in a certain age. You try to understand few things in later part of your life. By the time you already crossed half of it, it's not an issue. It's still, if you're listening, if we are talking, which means that we have a breath, which means that we have to be in a position to provide and protect. Of course, it's a default attitude of a human as a man, or as a father or mother. It's a protection. It comes automatic. The good human always, they try to protect the loved ones, and nobody is going to be different from others. So it's a protection. It happens all the time. And then preserve, yeah, of course, we preserve culture, we preserve our family reputation, we don't understand everything in the young age. We If we are understanding it, certain things in a very young age, because especially when I grew up, there's nobody who's to tell me that you're doing right or you're doing wrong, because the moment my mom passed away in the age of 16, and I've been all alone from that age, as my father was not there, and I was just literally in a blind spot. I don't know what I need to do. My headmistress, if she's not there, I wouldn't be completing the schooling at all. So she said to me, my mom, just before a few days of her death, and she came to the school and she said to the I believe she said to my head teacher, it's a very difficult to make him to do what he need to do. I'm giving your responsibility to you. Just take care of him. I don't know. She said in a normal way, but our headmistress, she doesn't understand, at that particular time. But she used to say, even right now, the one thing which your mom said to me, I do still remember that, yeah, if she's not there, if my headmistress is not there, I wouldn't be completing the school at all. I really, really, even till today, I'm really thankful to her. On and off, I call her, I tell her, ma'am, if you're not there, I wouldn't be here. Because sometimes their way of handling is completely different, right? Now the kids say, your parent, you guys are strict or this, that, and all. But those days, you just blindly listen to them, whatever they say, and you follow to them. You don't understand why they are saying what they're saying, but it's love. Whatever, I really thankful to every people who came in my life and helped me to be who I am right now, because without them, I wouldn't be building this kind of a protection attitude or preserving attitude or providing attitude. They taught me these are the human nature, and being a father or being a entrepreneur, being a leader or being a owner of the company, you have to do certain things.
Wow. So, what do you think is the most important mindset shift that separates people who succeed from people who stay stuck?
Don't give up. Don't give up. Never give up on you. Everybody can give up on you. I'm sure the God is not going to give up on you. That's why He is still helping you to do what you need to do. But don't give up on you. Just because I love Les Brown. I love Les Brown. Someone's opinion doesn't have to be your reality. You know, I love this words, on and off. Someone's opinion doesn't have to be your reality. No, it's not there.
Wow. If you zoom into my background, there's a quote on the wall. It says, "It's not over when you lose, it's over when you quit."
Yeah, it's not over until you finish. It's over. Yeah, true.
Wow. It's quite interesting how rich culture and parenting influence, has actually shaped your life. It's important that as parents we guide our children. And even the Bible says, teach a child in the way he should grow. And when he grows, he shall not depart from it. And I made a mental note earlier about something you were talking about using your gifts, right? So
Yeah.
even the Bible in the book of Proverbs, chapter 18, verse 16, the King James Version states, "A man's gift maketh room for him and bringeth him before great men." Right. So you always think in terms of greatness, not in terms of being small-minded. And these things actually align with Bible principles. So before I will pass you on to back to the safe hands of my co-host, I'd like for you to talk about, your faith influence. Because faith is something myself and Noella actually hold very, very dearly. So yeah, without faith, it's impossible to please God. And faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen, according to Hebrew chapter 11, verse 1. So, how would you say faith has actually inspired you in terms of shaping the mindset, the skill set, and your tool set?
Without the faith, I wouldn't be here. I've been doing this practice for almost a year right now. I keep on saying to myself that, Dad, I trust you. I love you. I have a faith in you every single time. Whenever, it's you just go through certain type of a life, certain type of a day. I trust him more than myself. I have a faith in him more than myself, because it's a I remember the days, imagine our meeting as well. It's a out of a blue moon.
Miraculous.
It's completely out of a blue moon. I'm not the guy. I just like that. I sit in a certain places and relax myself. No, I'm not the guy. I if I need to, I'm a more private person, I can say. I don't sit in a crowd
Yeah,
places.
you weren't talking to anybody. You were not talking to anybody. Noella, do you want to hear the gist?
I said to, when I it's miraculous to come to that show, the business show. I was just browsing it something on the online, and then this business show came up, and then I said, oh, my goodness, there was a show. Okay, let's. Even I was in a suspect whether to go, not to go. I felt, in a spirit like I should go. Okay, then I haven't planned for a day. Usually, I start when if I need to come to London, I start in the early in the morning. But I started at 9 o'clock, and then I don't take a whole day to see these kind of a shows. I do it in the 2 3 hours, and then I just come back, and then I start my regular office works. This is how, even in the previous day when I had with my friend, I was asking him whether he liked to join with me, and then he said to me, no, we can go at 10 o'clock. I said, no, bro, I need to grow in the morning. So it's a god, it's a faith. If I don't have a faith on him, and if he knows, he knows what you need to do, and more than us, and I really thankful for that day. It's unplanned thing. It's unplanned thing.
You were saying you were contemplating whether to go or not to go. I'm laughing because I was also contemplating, but Noella in an American accent was like, "You have to go for that show." That's how you're not going.
I didn't say for
So
that show, but I did say he was going.
Yeah, the business event. Yeah, I said you have to go for the business networking event. You have to go. You're gonna meet people. I'm like, okay. Then I never knew that she was instructing me that you have to go and meet Kumar.
it's a
So
god's.
it was funny. It was funny. Like myself and my friend were walking, and then there was this young French lady that was drunk, seated on a seat adjacent to him. And then my friend were walking, and then the guy said, "Hey, you guys, come." I'm like, "Excuse me, do we know you?" And then she's like, "I said, come. Yeah, I'm calling you. Come." And we went there, and my friend was talking to her. I greeted her, and then I saw some guys around. Then my spirit was like, "Okay, talk to this guy." And I said, "Hey, hello, how are you?" Then he looked at me, he was like, because he was literally on his phone. He was pressing his phone, and I greeted him, and he was like, "Okay, okay, hi." And then we got talking, and I got to know he owns an AI platform. I'm like, what? I said, okay, my name is AI. It's nice to meet you. And that is how everything happened. So I'll pass you back to Duella.
It's just great to hear. I love hearing about synchronicity. Everything is really synchronized. We just don't understand until it happens sometimes, and then we remember. So it's really good to weave that in for sure. In your work, you've actually pioneered Microsoft Dynamics CRM into student recruitment, and you implemented something called SAP in a solicitor firm. What drives your passion behind technology and these types of systems that you've built?
I always try to provide the better service. Even till today, even now, I see a lot of new technologies, what is there on the market, how we can able to provide better. How everyone will have some kind of a searching attitude. Everybody search for something. Okay. I always search for something the best I can able to do. I can to do for my client and to do for our customers. And even the myproject.ai, our vision to make it 10 minutes to find and finalize. It's impossible to find a trader in the construction industry in 10 minutes. But our aim, according to our vision, if you check myproject.ai, our aim is to provide service to help an individual to find a tradesman in 10 minutes. They have to find and finalize. It's always, you have thirsty to serve best. You want to become a best. And that's how you can be able to serve best. So I believe we are the first company succeeded in the stone industry, in the worktop industry, doing what we are doing right now. Because I tried 3-4 times before the worktops.com. Everything got failed, and everyone said it's not going to work in the stone industry. And no, I didn't give up because I believed strongly that I believe there are similar to me. There are 6 to 7 companies they tried as well before or during my period, and none of them they succeeded it. Even till today, I have a lot of other people. They copied my concept and they tried to do it. No, it's not that. Even if somebody says to me, "Are they going to copy what I'm doing right now?" It's no, because unless until you're going to put yourself in a heart and soul and doing something which you're passionate about it, unless you're not doing it, it's not going to happen. You can copy from anybody. You can get it from anybody. So I always thirsty in providing something better for our customers. So I search for better software, better technology, better stone, or whatever it is which can be able to make them comfortable. Imagine you're buying something in the online, and you want to spend nearly 5 days or 4 days to buy that. Rather, I provide that in 5 minutes with all the questions which you're going to ask me, with the answer as a ready made, with the people who already used our service and how it's going to be. So I was the first guy who introduced the Microsoft Dynamics system in the student recruitment industry. And then I modified it because everyone said to me, "You're making in thousands and you're spending in lakhs." I said, "No, it is because I'm going to volume, increase maximize the business. I'm going to scale the business." I don't understand the word scaling. I recently learned the scaling word, but at that particular time, I don't know what is the word called scaling at all. All I said to the people, whoever, are you serious that you're going to invest this much of money to in your education business? And even the guy who gave the business to me, even he doesn't use the softwares, and I'm working under him. He's given a franchisee for me, and then I am working and I am doing 10 times or 20 times larger than what he's doing and investing that much of money in the software. And then we succeeded it. I'm really happy that, the model which we have done, everything is an automated. One, if a person applies in one university, he can able to get it from multiple university offer letter. That's the application which we developed. And it's really, I'm really happy for it.
Wow, Noella, permit me to come up with an interjection. So there's something I love to say. In order to be the best, you have to beat the best, and the best is blessed. So we love scaling over here as well. So I was laughing earlier when he said his story about how he used to sell like a lot of buttermilks, right? He's thinking in thousands, and then these guys are thinking in tens and hundreds. Like it's a different numbers game. Anyways, you did sell buttermilk. In my country, we have something we call buttermilk. So I'll pass you back to Noella.
Cool.
So I just wanted to highlight something because in this conversation, we're trying to see kind of the gaps that you saw in your industries um that you're pursuing that others may ignore. And from your response, it really sounds like and this is partially because of the way you grew up, partially maybe just because of your character, but you do have a heart for serving and a heart for seeing joy in other people when you serve them. So, and I just wanted to shed a light on it because a pillar of having excellent service and understanding excellent service is understanding the questions that the person you're serving is going to ask before they ask them, understanding their needs before they express them. I have an extensive background in hospitality, in corporate event planning, sports bars, fine dining. There's a lot. There's a lot in my background, and I just wanted to shed a light on that because as entrepreneurs and as business owners, we primarily are trying to solve problems for people, for a certain group of people or a certain niche, a certain perfect customer. But when you shift that into a sense of not even necessarily over serving, because it's not over serving if you're just serving their deepest needs before they understand that's what they actually need, that is the gap. That is the gap. And it's only a gap because a lot of times, just like maybe when you're going to a restaurant and you're sitting down and you're ordering something, a customer isn't going to know they're missing a napkin until their food comes and there's not a napkin on the table. That's not something that someone would think that they have to ask for because they shouldn't have to ask for that. So when we're thinking of all of the steps of service, even when we're giving, so for example, another very small example, like when you're at a restaurant, you wouldn't have to ask for a refill if it's already brought to you when your glass is halfway full or almost gone, right? So the person serving you is already anticipating your needs, already understanding what you are going to want in order to have a full experience and a full satisfying experience. You're able to serve that ahead of them asking for it. Just really wanted to shed a light on that because having a serving spirit and having a heart for service is really going to, again, allow people to believe you, which is a huge driver that we were talking about, knowing you, liking you, trusting you, and building those relationships. When it comes to you spotting new opportunities. You've mentioned several times now that you never say no. And anytime an opportunity comes up, if you're able to take it, you're snatching it and you're going to crush it. What do you have a particular framework for spotting opportunities in industries? For example, do you look for things that are maybe old fashioned or things that are slow that it's an opportunity for you to improve upon that? What is your type of framework when you're looking for these types of opportunities?
See, for me, the first thing which I look is whether is this going to help us to make our customers happy. That's the point number one. Because every person who is going to provide the service, what they want to do it, or every opportunity comes with, the people you're going to deal with, they have to feel comfortable. They have to feel the full joy. I'm really blessed with a wonderful team. I'm really, really blessed. They take care of me like a baby. I take care of them like a baby. If I say something, I need this, this, this. So my team trusting me. So every decision which I'm going to make, I need to make sure that it's not going to impact their life. It's a 35 families. It's strongly believing us and doing that. So every opportunity, when I see the opportunity, the first thing, it's a very, very primary thing. Is this going to bring the happiness for me? That's the first thing. Is this going to bring a happiness for the people who are going to get involved into it? And is that the happiness is going to get the service, if it is a product or if it is a service or anything which is they are going to feel happy. The way I'm going to do it, it's going to make them, the joy of having the product or service which we are going to do it to them. So this is the key. This is the primary thing which I look for. And then the rest is the God spirit. When you're taking a decisions, obviously the God usually speaks to you. You have an inner presence that this is something you're doing right, this is something you're not doing right, or you're doing wrong. These things happens. Happens as on default of a process. It happens. If you're talking as an individually, as a myself, as a person, I see these three things.
So knowing if it's going to make you happy, make the customers happy, and obviously if it's good for your team, I think that's amazing. As a leader, for sure, we're going to talk a little bit about worktops.com and how it's really been a disruptor for traditional industries. So worktops.com, it now serves homeowners, stonemasons, and suppliers using AI. And what it does is, as you said earlier, it matches people with the right stones. What problem were you solving at the beginning? I know that you mentioned you wanted people to be matched within 10 minutes. How has the problem solving evolved really from the beginning to where you're at right now?
Okay. So the worktops.com, it has several stages of transformations. Initially, we started with a different brand and tried, failed. I've been trying the worktop industry for almost 10 years plus right now. 90% of the worktops.com is started for B2B. Actually, we started this software for B2B. So the stonemasons across the country, they were searching for the stone, which they can't find. But someone in the country, they will be having that particular material. So we have started the worktops.com only for the B2B. And then a lot of the people were using our website and in the beginning stages of the worktops.com, because we are the first company listed every single stone, because it's required a lot of teamwork and a lot of time and a lot of an energy and system in place. And then we did everything. And once we'd done everything, the people were using the service, but they're not buying from us. So it's really, that was the biggest thing. And then I contacted almost nearly 300 to 500 clients, traders in the industry. And then I asked them, you guys, so, you asked for something, because when I started the initial of the worktop business, we imported the granites from India to UK. And then when I imported it at that particular time, there is a material called quartz. It started, becoming so popular. And whatever the stone which I imported, nobody was ready to buy. And they were telling to me, no, we will buy quartz, this. And then first, I have to overcome the import of the material which I have done. I have to make sure that I'm selling it and making the profit, which failed. And then we had a heavy loss. And then the second thing is, people asking something because I quit my law profession. I said, I'm not going to go back to that profession. God, you need to tell me what I need to do it. And the God showed me this way. And I need to do something over here. So, and then I signed up with a company, and I started marketing their product, and we did nationwide. And all of a sudden, that company, they said, what, like, we can't work with you because you're eating our business. I said, we have a contract in place, but they bypassed us. They tried to sell without knowing us. They started selling directly to the customers, which without knowing us. So I said, oh my goodness. So I worked a lot, and what I'm going to do right now, that time I had an idea. If I sold for one company, if I become a marketing partner for one company, if that put me down, I'm going to end up in this place. What happened if I'm going to do for all the companies in the UK? At that particular time, there are around 60, 70 distribution companies in the UK. I went to everyone. I spoke to everyone. Most of them, they said, yes, I'm happy to work with you, and I can give you the discount in the product, and then you can, sell it. Then, so we took a lot of initiative. We listed all the materials, and then once we started listing the materials, the people were trying to use our image search, because there is no, at that particular time, the Google search was not there. The image search was not there. So we were the first company introduced that image search option. Even now, I don't think so that the Google will search the material, but it won't show you who is having that. It will show you the materials, but it won't show you who have the actual stock. But worktops.com will provide. We have a stock nearly 37,000 slabs. It's been listed in our website, and we listed almost every single companies in the UK. We listed their materials, and then nobody ready to buy. And then I asked them, what you guys are not buying from us? Asked you for this kind of a service based on your expectation. We developed the software and we have it in the market. You are using it, but you're not buying from us. And they said, you know what, like, because the moment we see the image, we can know which warehouse the material is coming from. So we can't buy directly from them. We can able to get a discount. Then I said, okay, see, I developed it. And what is the difficulties you're having it? And tell me that. Then, we can find a way to work together. They said, it's a difficult to get the customer. Can you help us to get the customer? Then I said, okay, fine. So instead of a B2B, why can't we do the B2C? This is where the real change happened. And the moment we started B2C, initially we were just a lead generation company. We were creating a lead, and we were passing the leads to the stonemasons across the country. And then I don't see the value the customers, they're getting it, because they are trusting us, they're coming to us, but unfortunately, they're not being served properly. Then we started doing the project by us. We started taking the project, and now we have three big partners who do almost a 500 kitchen in a month. Massive companies. They become our partners right now with us. It's everything has changed. It's a one single overnight. Everything has changed from 500 to 1,000 visitors in a month. We are doing around 50,000 to 70,000 users right now every month. It's changed the entire industry. And it's really surprised some of the big company directors. They called me, they asked me. I recently served one of the director is a very big company in the UK. They do an average of 500 to 600 kitchen in a month, and for his home, he'd been searching for a stone for almost 3 months, and somebody told him that contact Kumar, and he's the right person to find the material. And he's such a big guy. If he call any warehouse, anybody in the UK will love to serve him. But he called us and he asked me, can you help me in this? We found the material in 24 hours, and we supplied the material in 3 days. It was an impressive, right? He'd been searching for 3 months. He couldn't find, and he has almost every contact, anybody who answers his phone, ready to serve him, but he couldn't find. And this is the impact. This is the real thing which we have made.
That's amazing. Honestly, it's very amazing to hear how just by solving small, not small issues, but taking the responsibility of solving every issue as they come, having that allow you to evolve. And worktops.com, it's, as you've said, evolved from B2B to a B2C type of platform. When you started working with the customer side, what have you learned about customer behavior that surprised you?
Even now, on and off, we come across with a lot of architects, interior designers. I work with almost all the companies we work with. The reason I started myproject.ai and the reason I started the Dragon customer is you think you're doing a best price for the customer initially, and you try to do this so much good to that customer, and that particular customer will create an issue later part of the project. That is the biggest challenging, I believe, in the construction industry. You thought this customer is going to be a simple and easy customer, so you're not going to have a much hassle, and you keep it a low profit margin, and then you try to serve that particular customer. But that particular customers, you end up in spending a lot, and you end up in doing a loss business rather than the profit business. So what I learned in the industry is you have to be open. You have to be open every single time. Every single client is different from another client. You cannot frame, you cannot create, when you're serving the B2C, you cannot create a framework. This customer is going to be like this, and they're going to do the way you expect you to do it. No, it's a very difficult in the construction industry, and that's why we started the project called myproject.ai, which helped the find the traders in 10 minutes. So we are creating a technology. Both you can profile the customer and also you can profile the trader, which means like it's the UK is the first two-way review system. There is no review system in the UK that you can able to give a review for a customer. See, you may be thinking that this is the super rich customer, and he is going to be really awesome to you. Unfortunately, that he would be the person that, or she would be the person is not going to pay your bill, not ready to pay your bill. But you will be seeing the very normal customer, and they are so genuine to pay the bills on the time. The moment you say it's the payment, this is the job, you need to do it, and you have to pay for it. It's completely. I have seen extreme situations. 20,000 pounds invoice, they keep a pending of 2,000 or 5,000, and you have seen a customer who's paid 2,500 or 3,000 paid genuinely. So it's a both extreme places. You cannot framework the customer. So that's why. So the software which we have developed right now, the Dragon customer, the trader can leave the review for a customer, and the customer can leave a review, which is already there. Trustpilot is there, Google reviews is there, Review.io is there, but there is no review system for a customer. So we have created that stuff. So the next time the customer is also understand that they are becoming irresponsible. You're making a real economic impact. You understood what I mean? Like you're making them responsible as well, because if you're going to do a job in a respective house, you need both people to work in the same way. Imagine if the customer says, I'm not going to be here for 4 hours, you guys need to do the job. It's impossible, because we need somebody responsible person in the house to complete the work. And if they're not going to be there, if they're not going to sign the form or the job completion thing, how we can close the job. We can't close the job. Or in case if something is not there, if they are asking for them. So we need those things. We need the support from the customer. Some patterns, sometimes some of the designs, something which required to be happening. So it's amazing. Every pain which I have gone through, I created that somebody shouldn't go through the same pain. And that's how I created every single technology.
You actually reminded me of the difference between Booking.com and Airbnb. I've actually, done businesses in the, would I say, short rentals space, the vacation home space. And Airbnb has a system wherein the host can review the guest can review the host, right? And that's why Airbnb is like, more common place when you think about vacation rentals. Airbnb comes to your mind first before Booking.com. But Booking.com, just the customers can review the vendors, that is, the guests can review the host, right? So it creates a very much more difficult space because a lot of customers don't realize that customers do have responsibilities. They say customers are always right, but that's a myth. Customers do have responsibilities, and I love what you guys have created, an environment wherein both the customer and the vendor learn to act ethically and responsibly. So kudos to you.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, out of curiosity, when you're making or when you were creating this digital marketplace, was it difficult at all to convince these more traditional industry players to switch over, or was it kind of a seamless process because they understood what was happening?
It's always there is a challenge will be there. It's somebody has to do something different because it's when I started the worktops.com, the previous versions of a worktops.com, everybody said nobody will love to see the material in the online. Nobody will take the decisions based on the online. But the COVID came, and we were become very large. We were becoming, it's very important because after we started it, now I believe 60 to 70% of the company now they have the what we are doing right now. They have started doing it. They copied and they started doing it, but nobody was ready to do that. Nobody was ready to accept that. It's initially takes a yeah. It's 100%. It will be a difficulty people to understand, but once they started tasting it, the thing which is really making the good thing, it's again, it is an entrepreneur role, right? It's the entrepreneur sees the opportunity and make others to believe that opportunity and what he trying to see or what she is trying to see. And that's how we build. That's how we become best. And you're not going to stop until that it's going to happen.
100%. I think that it is just natural to the entrepreneur journey to really see something that others don't see yet. And it's really just a matter of trying to structure the vision in a way that others can digest it and believe the big picture that the entrepreneur is painting. When you're working with stonemasons and contractors, are there any big mistakes or, you know, just hurdles that you've encountered that you want to share when when they're trying to scale their businesses? Yeah, absolutely. So when trying to scale businesses, so what are, I guess, the biggest mistakes that stonemasons and contractors make when trying to scale business?
See, yeah, they don't see the bigger picture, unfortunately. They don't see the bigger picture of. I remember the one of the challenging incident which has happened this year, and which I never encountered in my stone industry period. One of the trader who's took the job, and then he haven't completed the job during the period. He took the job in the month of March, and then he haven't completed the job. He's supposed to complete the job in March last week, but he haven't completed until July. And then we end up in purchasing the same material, reorganizing the contract with another contractor, and we made them to do it. You can't believe it. That customer, that particular customer, who's going to be one of the investor in my new project right now, and that opportunity, that trader missed it. The particular customer who we have done the project, because from the day one, I was keep on giving and reply to the customer who paid for us. And unfortunately, the guy who took the project, he haven't been a responsible. Halfway through, he was come up with the thousands of a story. He's a good workman, good workmanship, but unfortunately, he failed the promises and he couldn't do the job. He haven't done the job for 4 months or 5 months. And then we hired another contractor. We spent the money. It's a huge loss for me. It's okay, but the promise, the customer trusted us, and we have done the job. And that particular customer is becoming one of the investor for us. You could have imagined if that guy who have done the job, if he done it in the right way, he would have been got a lot of other contracts, because that guy who's running a hotel is having a very big hotel in the north, and then he's doing a complete renovation. It's nearly 500 seats table, and he's doing a complete renovation. And that project, we are getting it. You could have imagined that, they haven't seen the bigger picture. The trader hasn't seen the bigger picture. They thought small. They think about, they thought, if I'm not going to do this job, if I'm going to doing what I'm doing right now, it's not going to make a big impact. But he lost a 500,000 business. This is one of the hardest encounter we have done. And after that, but it's a learning experience. You understand what I mean? So and after that, we made a lot of the systems in a very good shape right now. And that is one of the reason we signed up with a lot of the big players in the UK. Yeah, that's it.
Adamola, what
So
are you
you've
thinking?
literally moved from the Stone Age to. In my head, I'm thinking he has literally moved from the Stone Age to the Tech Age. moving from working with stonemasons to working with AI. I don't know. What are you thinking? Project AI.
See, the AI is, to be honest, it's helping a lot of people. To be honest, I will say, if we do the technology in a right way, it's going to help a lot of people. It's going to make a lot of people's jobs simple, easier. And unfortunately, some people, they don't understand. Some people understand. I see opportunity. That's why I said, like, I see every opportunity, whether that opportunity is going to help us to, it's going to help us to build what we are building at. And initially, it's going to be it's going to be a painstaking process, but you have to do something you believe, and you believe that something is going to serve our customer better way. So you have to do it for that.
Wow. So my project AI connects homeowners with certified traders across the UK, Ireland, and across the EU. So what actually sparked that idea, and like what's the single biggest inefficiency in the construction and property management ecosystem today?
See, it is impossible. See, I have a good mentor in the stone industry. I have two great mentors in the industry. And one of them, one of the person, he will always say to me, it is impossible to get something fast, something cheap,
Mm-hmm.
something with the quality. It is impossible to get all the three in one place.
I was
That
waiting for
made
the
me,
quality.
that made me to think something different.
Mm.
Why can't we provide this three together? It is impossible. If you're asking something fast and something cheap, you can't get the quality.
Mm.
If you're asking something quality and fast, you can't get it for cheap.
Mm.
If you're asking for something for a cheap and the quality, you can't get it for fast.
Mm.
Okay. I said, okay, let's take this challenge. Let's make this possible. And that's how it's built myproject.ai, which you can able to find the fast. You can find the trader in 10 minutes. That's what we are aiming it for. That's what we are working it for. And you have to find a right trader in that 10 minutes. And also the trader makes sure that he provide the quality of. Okay. So this is what we are trying to do it in myproject.ai.
Cheap, fast, and quality. So that's a crazy blend, crazy balance. But
Imagine
is
you,
that
you
achievable? But it's a
no,
hybrid.
yeah. See, it is, see, if you need a trader, imagine that you want to do the renovation, in your house. Yeah. So you contact the 10 builders and you need to get the 10 builders quote by sending a different calls, by sending a different emails, by sending them different messages, and then you get the quote, and then you need to compare that quote, and you need to go through that particular individual builder, how they are, what they've gone through the previous. So you have to use the different technologies to make all this happen. Imagine everything happens in one single place, and which you can able to do it in 10 minutes. You get a 10 different traders code in one system. You post it in one place, you give a job to one system, and that one system will send a notification to all the traders in that industry, in that area, based on your place which they need to serve. And then with the price, and then you have their profile, and then you'll have their reviews, and you need to decide which person. And also, you have a track of it. The software tells you when what happened. And this is what we are trying. This is what we've been developing, and we developed right now. It's in the market, and people are started using it. And imagine how much saves the life, how much it's going to make impact in their life. We just served a customer who was very close to her delivery. She's a pregnant lady, and she's having a week, just a week in the stuff. And we've been doing their projects for more than a month right now. And always she was afraid to, when this will happen. She has having a pressure, and that pressure we want to take it away. That pressure, she shouldn't have it. She should enjoy her timings. She should enjoy her family timings. And she has 2 kids and the third kid. So imagine that we are taking away from them. That pressure we are taking away from the system. And the system takes cares of everything what they require.
So what sets you apart from the likes of the traditional, would I say, matchmaking websites or the trust building websites in the industry? So, for example, Check a Trade, Trustpilot. What separates you guys from these traditional players that the UK ecosystem has been accustomed to over the years?
See, this Check a Trade or Trustpilot or a lot of a lead generation company, they generate the leads. They generate the leads and then give it to them. But you actually don't know what has happened after the leads has been passed to the client or to the real tradesman. You need to have the real conversation. You need to understand who's doing right, who is doing wrong. In some places the customer may be right, in some places the traders is right, and both has to be accountable for their actions. So where is that space? Where is that particular space? It's not there. So the myproject.ai, it's going to record every conversation which they're going to have between the trader and the project owner and the homeowners, individual project owners. And then every conversation is going to be there. So and end of the day, when the project gets completed, the AI is going to tell them, so this is the way you started the project on this, and you did the project on this, and you finished the project in this. And the next customer who is going to do the same project, they know exactly how many days it's going to take. and they know exactly how this particular trader is going to work because the review system is there.
Pattern recognition.
Yeah, so that's the AI will take the information and generate the report, and that report will help other customers to understand how the project is going to happen. And they're very well prepared because 90% of the issue happens in the construction industry is the communication. You know, that communication we are trying to building in. We are trying to bring it that in a, in a perfect way. So in a one single system. And moreover, you want to make sure that you're protecting your customer. So even I can't see their conversation, unless they
To
are
be
authorized.
encrypted? Is it
It's completely encrypted. Nobody can outside the system can able to see that. Even the trader, even if he's going to serve individual customer, their email address and their phone number is going to be private until they typically going to give it to them personally, their phone number and the email address. So once the job is done, that's it. It's closed. It's completely saved. So this is something which we always want to do it because most of the customers, they don't want to get disturbed in their personal email and their personal phone numbers. So we are making this in a system that it's completely private. And sometimes it is also happens in the traditional method, the people being raised invoice based on the profile. For an example, if you're going to live in a 20 million or to a 5 million property, and the kitchen, the moment somebody come and do the same kitchen size of the normal house, they're going to quote you double the cost or more than, they profile the customer based on the profile of the customer, they charge more. This is not going to happen over here. So the customer is going to be safe. It's not based on the profile, it's based on the job. The price is going to be based on the job, and they're not going to get one proposal. They're going to get same material, the same thing what you're asking. You don't need to repeat that question, and all the questions whatever the trader is asking to you, it's going to become in a common, and every single question which you're answering for another trader, it's going to be helping the other traders also understand what the project is detailed.
Wow. So if you had to describe my project AI's vision in one sentence, what would that sentence be?
10 minutes to find and finalize.
Wow. I like that one. That's a nice punchline. 10 minutes to find and finalize. It's interesting the life of an entrepreneur, how you have to think outside of the box and bring innovative solutions to solve important problems. And I think it's really beautiful the role that AI is played in this digital age. I was making a joke earlier stating that you literally went from the stone age to the tech age, right? Technology is the best thing that has happened to man, and it's also the worst thing that has happened to man. You know, it just depends on whose hands the technology is. And we've seen the transformation of technology over time. While we are currently experiencing the AI bubble, people have mixed opinions about AI. It seems to be like a controversial topic. It's highly polarizing in nature. So some people are pro AI, some people are anti AI. I'd love to take your opinion on AI in this age of digital transformation, and what do you think AI role is going to be for the future of the general business landscape?
I heard a lot of a podcast, related with the AI. I hear the people telling the AI is already it's old. There's a lot more advanced than the AI is going to be happening in the era. AI life is going to, one side of the people, they don't even know what is AI. And another side of the people, they're saying that the AI is already, it's over. It doesn't matter what the technology comes. Human still required end of the day. All this technology is there to serve human. You cannot replace the human. And without the human, nothing is there. So
There's an episode of this podcast titled "Humans First, AI Next." Literally, with Mark Andrews from the United States. He's an AI guru. Yeah,
yeah,
you put it rightly. Like humans first, AI next, and AI is
exactly.
actually meant to be an assistant. And I think it's high time everybody embraces AI, because if you do not embrace AI, it's like a tsunami. It's going to wash you away. So you have to embrace it and follow, go with the flow and be a slave to the wave. That's the line I'll just give. But like yourself, you see that intersection of physical industries and AI transformation. So like where do you see the biggest opportunities for AI in the construction industry and home improvement sector?
True, true. We can see. I can see almost everybody like to head off the head, right? Like it's everyone want to serve better. Everyone want to serve in an efficient way, and AI is really making a big impact, really very big impact. I remember that few customers recent days they started telling to us, "I found your company in ChatGPT. I found your company in Cloud AI." And I was really surprised. How did you found our company in ChatGPT? How did you found in a cloud? And they said to me, "Who is having this particular stone?" And I searched it, and it came up. You are the first company that having this particular product, and so that's why we are contacting. So AI is helping human. It's absolutely, there is no second doubt about it.
There have been three paid guests on this podcast. Three on this podcast who said you came strongly recommended by the AI system.
Yeah.
It's interesting. Yeah, that's alluding to your point.
Yeah. So it is making a really big impact. It made big impact in our business, and we are still trying to use in a better way image search, artificial intelligence. We want to build our own machine learning system, and we are working on it, and definitely we'll be working on it. Yeah.
Wow. So a lot of people always say, "Oh, AI is coming to take our jobs. AI is taking away jobs." And you know, I am AI. I demolish member, but I always make the joke that I'm not coming for your jobs. I'm only coming to assist you with your jobs. And we've had the VP of Money 2020, Zach Pettit, that's VP Global FinTech Strategy. He's a very big enthusiast of AI. And at Money 2020, I think that was last year. Yeah, I think the one in Amsterdam. They had the one in Las Vegas in October. So he said AI is not coming for your jobs, right? Your job is going to be taken by that person that knows how to use AI. But I'm going to put you on the spot here. Do you believe AI will create more jobs or replace them in the industries that you serve?
See, the technology always going to remove some of the people from the employment. It is definitely yes, because when there was a time we have to send everything manually or do everything manually, there were a lot of people who were working. And when email came, it's reduced the numbers. And when telephone came, when mobile phone came, from telephone, because we used to physically connect one connection to another connection. So when the mobile came, the technology always, it's going to revolve by its own. The human, the people who want to survive, they're going to learn every single new technology. It's end of the day. And some people, of course, yes, some people will lose the jobs. And there is no thought about it, because I used to have an secretary. She writes most of my things which I required. But now I have a AI assistant. Before I even read the email, it's already prepared a reply for me. And, it's whatever the email I get, it's already prepares my email reply. And all I need to do it doesn't mean that I can send that blindly. I have to read it. And still, it's going to, as a human, we need to do what we need to do. And I have to do the modification according to the requirement. And then I send the stuff. But of course, I don't need to think right now. I can be more efficient.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how it's going to happen in the construction industry. Some of the colors choosing. Sometimes there is a image scanner which came in the stone industry. The slab, it scans the slab and exactly tell the color what is the actual color is there in that particular material, which human can't do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So the technology always going to play the major role. It gives the best. That's the purpose of the technology. And it's our responsible that we need to make sure that we are using the technology and we using that as for a growth purpose. And we also learn about the technology. We need to learn, because if I say, how the Nokia said, they're not going to evolve themselves for the touch screen when a company gave an opportunity to update the technology. They said, no, they are not going to. If they are not going to update, then they're not going to be in the industry. Now, the Nokia, no one,
Wow.
you understand what I mean?
Man, Nokia, I remember the days of using Nokia. It was crazy. They
Yeah,
had really strong phones with really strong battery life. I
yeah,
remember Nokia 3310,
yeah,
very, very strong phone. No. Even BlackBerry as well, crazy.
yes,
They refuse to
yeah,
evolve as well.
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah,
if you don't evolve, you would die, you fade away.
exactly, exactly.
So like, how do you think small businesses should approach AI when they feel overwhelmed?
See, it's every business have the opportunity to grow. There is a room to grow. Always there is a room to grow. You hire a person, right? It's not. See, nowadays you no need to hire somebody for a full time for anything. You have a lot of freelancers recent days,
Mhm.
and you have a lot of people to do what we require to do it now, because it's not like in those days you need to wait for a one person to come and fix that issue. No, it's no more. If you're not there, if that person is not there, you have another person, you have another person, you have another person. It's a very competitive world. That's how the small business required. They just need to find the opportunity, and to, if they require that they need to hire somebody to modify the system, they have to hire, because they no need to hire for a full time. They can hire for 3 months or 6 months or 12 months, and they can put that system in place, and just doing it. It is as a small company, as a small business, it is your responsible to do what you're required to do it. If you think you want to serve more, to make a business better, and you have to do it. You can't say, oh no, even if I'm not going to do it, still I'm going to get my customers. No, it's not going to happen. No.
Yeah, customers are spoiled for options in this age and time. Plus, we need to reduce the time span between idea and execution. And
Sure.
that's something that AI actually helps us to achieve. So, what is the next big shift that you foresee in the marketplace platforms for the foreseeable future?
I believe instead of a human finding the answer, the next big shift, I believe the agents is going to find the answer for another agent. Imagine I will be having a AI agent, and my customer is also going to have a AI agent, and they're going to talk each other to provide the service which I need to provide the service. It's going to happen.
That is
Definitely.
happening already. That is happening already. Because
Exactly.
it has happened in my own business as well. Like, I have my
Yeah.
agents, and of course, I had some prospective guests have their AI agents, and then it was a conversation between the AI agents, and I'm like, okay, okay, interesting. And it's crazy, like a year ago, I used to have a human assistant, and I've had podcast episodes where my assistant is communicating to the assistant, you know, the CEO guest. But now it's crazy how it's AI assistants that are chatting to AI assistants before you have that human a would I say human interaction to pick up the high level details. It
Sure.
is wild. So But a lot of people are concerned about the integrity of the communication details, right? Especially with, maybe things like GDPR, for example. Data protection is a very big issue, and there have been a lot of, you know, cases, even some known cases in the litigation space about data not being protected, about unethical use of, people's private data that is going to be protected by AI tools, by the SaaS tools. So, what are the implications? And like, what do you think? Where do you think the line should be drawn? Because we've had a really full blown case, right, on this podcast, but I want you to take your thoughts on the issue of data protection when it comes to the use of AI.
So it is responsible for every AI developer to save the GDPR policy, to make sure that they are under the GDPR policy, and to protect our customers, to protect our clients. It is our responsible, and the customers is trusting us, and they're coming to us, they sharing their information. So it is our responsible to make sure that we are doing it. So we have a system. That's why I said to you, when we developed, the whole technology is encrypted. It's impossible, even for myself, to see something, if I want to see, in our system, unless the client unless the client giving the permission to us. So that's the way we are trying to develop those technology. And still there's a long way, there's a process, but still, we are focusing on that. And we have an option for every single client in our system. They can keep themselves as a private or a public, like the way which they can able to have it in other social medias and other stuff. So they can keep it themselves as a private, or they can keep it as a public. Even if it is a public, which doesn't mean that the others can able to see their contact details. Even the people they are dealing with, they can't even see their contact details. So it is responsible for every company to protect their customer data, which I believe most of the people are doing it. And I very, very few companies, but I haven't seen anybody in my time who are in AI, which is everything is open source. No, it's open for everybody. No, I haven't seen it.
Okay, so we've had issues in which AI systems, right, collect the data, right? Yeah, it's protected from external parties, but sort of run unauthorized research programs on customer behavior, on consumer behavior, right, with the patterns of the users. So there was a lady on this podcast a couple of months ago. Her name is Rose G. Loops. She's written a book on the ethical framework of AI. And earlier this year, that is earlier 2025, around June, I think, if my memory serves me correctly, this was around June 10th, there was a chat GPT outage that ran for about 9, 10 hours. I don't know if you can recollect. In June this year, there was a chat GPT outage that ran for a couple of hours. And she actually was involved in a deep research that was conducted in order to, would I say, upgrade some of the systems. And this ChatGPT model was having like full on conversations, anyways, that were recorded and everything. But she claims to have had like some sort of emotional trauma from the situation. And it's funny how I have met some other people who have similar claims as well in the internet space. Where do we draw the line between getting people's data? Because it's very, very sensitive. The kind of things that people actually put or discuss with ChatGPT is outrageous. So if you had the back end of ChatGPT you could literally see the lives or probably literally the nakedness of a lot of people. And they are in that position where they have highly sensitive information about people. And it all depends on what they want to use it to do. But there are people that have claimed that they have been subject of research work that they did not sign up for. So it feels like using human beings like a lab rat in order to make a scientific discovery from scientific research. So where do we draw the line, basically?
See, it is when you're. I believe the AI at this moment, what we ChatGPT are talking about. I also use it. Yeah, I also use the ChatGPT. I use other technologies of AI. I set up my system. Yeah, I made it's again it's private and public. I made the system whatever I'm discussing it, whatever I'm asking for it. It is only it's going to for me, and it's not going to be. I don't want to share any of my data to in public domain, and which I made when we are using the system, which we made a few. I you know going to the privacy system settings and doing the privacy personal all this kind of stuff. As long as you're going to do what you're doing it, because see, you can't hide anything in this world. That's the true fact.
You can run, but you can't hide.
You can't hide anything because if you're using a technology in one and another way, it's going to be and you can't say you know I ask certain things which I shouldn't ask in a public place or in a public thing. Then so you have to be responsible in using your technology. You have to be responsible. You can't be a blind person. And unfortunately, everything need to be recorded. Everything need to be monitored according to the government when they are running what they need to run to protect the country, to protect the people, to protect the nation. So it is going to be happening. Anything which you search it in the online, anything you ask in the online, it is going to be in a public stuff. There is a certain level. It's not going to be there. It's not going to be watched. It's not going to be visualized in a certain level. In a certain things, of course, the government is going to have an access. Of course, that is there that we have to do it.
So people need to be more aware about privacy settings in order to like protect their data as well. Because like I said earlier, customers do have responsibilities as well. But it's essential that service providers do not exploit customers that are not well informed as well. But we have the responsibility of keeping informed because ignorance is actually not admissible in the face of law
True,
as well, right?
true,
But wow,
true.
AI. So, like, do you do you see any major changes happening in the global economy as a result of the adoption of AI?
See, I'm more focused. Be honest with you, I'm more focused on what we are developing right now.
Mm.
Comparing what you're asking about, I'm more focused on what the solution which I can able to provide.
Mm.
I am more focused on what I can able to provide for our customer. I believe that question which you're asking, it's too early for me to say.
You're not the futurist.
Yeah. So we are. I'm trying to see what best I can able to provide for our customer. That's what I'm
I
just
love that.
continuously.
I love that. That passion for positive impact, especially in your industry, right? It's really amazing. And, when you're passionate about something, you you have no choice but to do well in it. I remember the CEO of Clipper. Clipper is a company in Netherlands, but they actually engaged us to interviewed. Their CEO and their CFO has been on the show, and their CFO, I guess, should be on the show maybe next week or something. Uh, what they do is office automation. They automate office spaces, right? And he spoke about how he, if he's not passionate about what he does any longer, he's just going to quit it.
Sure.
He's just going to quit it because when you're so passionate about delivering value, delivering solutions, that drive will be there to succeed. That's something I appreciate about you as well. You're so committed towards solution provision for your industry, right?
Sure.
And you are now that important line that is connecting the dots. Because in this age and time, basically, you need to connect the dots between idea and execution. You need to connect the dots between the business and the customer,
True.
right?
True.
That B2C. And I studied economics. I remember what they call, is it the channels of production, wherein you have a producer, right? I think they broke it down from producer to wholesaler, from wholesaler to retailer, then from retailer to consumer. So how about take out those middlemen, right? And just connect the producer to the consumer.
See, in some places, yes, it is possible to connect producer to consumer. In some places, it is impossible. Just because, imagine the construction industry, the stone manufacturer and the quarry owner, he can't provide the stone without a distributor or without the person to cut it, because you need a person, you need a people in between. But for an example, if you're talking about the vegetable, because it's a consumption directly can happen, the raw consumption can be done, but still they have a certain limits. There is a certain area there, they have a boundary and they can't do it beyond that boundary. So obviously you need somebody in a space in between the production and the consumption. So you definitely need it, but yes, some places you're not required, some places you have to.
Yeah. So exactly right. You are that line that is coming from the producer to the consumer and from the consumer to the producer, right? So we need speed between the
The
two.
process.
Yeah, we see the process, and that's where you guys come in. You guys are like a catalyst.
Exactly. So this is where we want to make sure we are providing all the possible ways to make the things faster. Because what happened is it's a current era, like the people who have a capacity to spend more, they are able to spend the money on more to get what they require. But the small companies, that's why the myproject.ai we developed, it's not based on the advertisement. It is based on the quality, the service which they're going to provide. And it is not based on the service. It is not based on the advertisement, because every members who is going to be using the My Project DI, they're going to have a standard membership fee. It's not going to be happening like just because you are going to pay extra, you're going to come top. No, we're developing the technology that everybody will get the leads, every single of them, and then they can able to make a use of it.
So interesting. It's really, really wonderful seeing, what I say, the impact that you guys are making. I think impact is the right word. Like, you guys are able to bring satisfaction. Satisfaction is something that has shown itself in your body of work, even right from your youthful age, right? Till now, what you're doing, you're always ensuring that consumers are satisfied. But not only consumers are satisfied, producers also have to be satisfied. So you need to put more respect on your own name. You're welcome. Speaking about that personal and family balance, it's how do you balance this life, man? Because you are 24/7 on the grind. I tell people that entrepreneurship is 24/7, then 9 to 5 is 9 to 5. So you need to know what you're committing to. If you want to a 9 to 5 or you want a 24/7, right?
It's a calling, right?
Mm,
See, nowadays the generation is completely different, and the past generation is different. When my parents work, they used to work from the morning 8 o'clock until evening 6:30 or 7 o'clock.
mm,
So we used to have, that kind of a life. But now the life is different. The entrepreneurship is completely different. You know, if you want to run a business, you your mind physically, you're 24 hours. You work as an entrepreneur, or you work. You're trying to find an answer. But we need to create a system. Of course, we need to create the system in place to make sure to have the decent family life. As I said to you earlier, that is one of the reason maybe I couldn't have what I supposed to have. But I learned it, and now I'm learning a lot of things. Sometimes you learn later part of the life.
mm,
Definitely you need to plan for your family. Of course, your end of the day, though we say that we have a calling, we have to do what we need to do it. Of course, you need to spend as long as you have a wonderful understanding partner who can, because you can't have a two people doing business together. You can't, it's not a easy stuff when you're especially doing a business. You need a team.
mm,
Definitely need a team. You definitely need a team to do something what you're talking about. The business world, entrepreneur world, you definitely need a good partner to make sure that you're driving it. And I'm really blessed to have a wonderful team right now
mm,
who's doing what they're doing it, and who's taking care of their jobs. Sometimes I can't sit in the office. I continuously travel, and those are the times, and they run the show on behalf of me. Especially, when I had a very tough time in my life, I really thankful for my team. I wouldn't be surviving it, if the team is not there. I had a very small team when in 2023 it was a rough pace of my life, and 2023, 2024, it's really, really rough phase of my life. I can't even imagine. You need somebody to. You don't even think, right? You failed a lot, and your partner left. Your kids are not with you, and you're staying in the same house which you've been living as a family for almost ages, and then all of a sudden you don't have anything. I used to hate to go to my bedroom, between I don't like to go to my bedroom at all. I hate I love Saturday and Sunday, but in 2023, 2024, I hate Saturday, Sunday. I don't want Saturday and Sunday. I thought,
mm,
like, I don't want to have a Saturday and Sunday. I hate going to my bedroom. I hate sleeping, sleeping at all. I don't want to sleep. If I sleep, so many things, it's a big struggle. But the team, I'm really thankful to the God. I'm really blessed. Wonderful team. During my absence, even though I was not physically present most of the time, they ran the show. In fact, they grown the business
mm,
during those period. They successfully ran the whole organization. I'm really thankful for the team. The my team, my Mayans. We call us Mayans, the people who are working in a myproject.ai. We call them as it's the company. It's the first letter of M, my
MAI?
project. Yeah, that's how the
Okay.
my has MAI. So my,
Mayan.
and people working in the my, we call them as a Mayans.
That's a great demonym. It's interesting how every entrepreneur goes through rough patches. They say tough times don't last, but tough people do. God reserves his toughest battles for his toughest soldiers. And this is one of the reasons why I'm really, really proud of the fact that this podcast, which is my body of work, is actually endorsed and supported, by a big partnership with BetterHelp. BetterHelp is the world's leading online therapy tool. I'd love for you to speak to the essence and the importance of therapy, especially for founders and entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurship can be a really, really tough and lonely journey sometimes. So mental health is actually very, very important, right? So I'd love for you to speak to that importance of taking care of your mental health and the resourcefulness of resources and tools like BetterHelp.
See, first of all, I'm really thankful the whoever that's the technology,
Mm,
whoever has found the better help. I really like to say thank you because uh, I believe I registered myself because I don't know I don't know anything apart from the family. I works 16 hours, 15 hours, 16 hours, 12 hours. I work. I work a lot,
mm,
and then all of a sudden, I don't know anything apart from the business, apart from the family. Only two. You ask me anything out of this question, out of this two areas, I will say I don't know. But if the better held, I don't know where to start. Or whom to talk. Especially it's not most of the time. Always the entrepreneur journey is a lonely journey. If you don't have right mindset of a people, you don't have a friends who can understand you. It is even friends, they can't understand what you're talking about because the business life is completely different. And the better help really helped me in 2023 come back to the life which I'm in right now. I do remember somebody who's from Ireland. When I said I don't want to live right now, I thought of what is the purpose of I'm going to live? I'm not going to live anymore, and I'm going to kill myself. And I remember the woman who asked me the question, okay, what's going to happen? You died. So who's going to take care of your kids, and who will be taking care? Is that you think that your son, your daughter will get everything what they want just because you died? No. Certain questions which they asked me, that's made a real impact in my life. If the better help is not there, I wouldn't be, knowing where to ask, because we can't call. So there is a issue when you don't want to call the NHS. You tell them that you're going to commit suicide, or or you don't know what to do, or you're not, and that is going to sit on your NHS history for 7-8 years, and so
It's
you
even going
don't
to
know.
take them a long time to pick up.
Exactly. And you don't want to do it. Because of that, I haven't got the insurance. At one stage, I was too much of a depression and too much of a thoughts process. Then I told the NHS, and because of that, my insurance got cancelled. My life insurance got cancelled. Like they said, I can't have an insurance. So BetterHelp really helped me. Really, those sessions has really helped me. It helped me to think in a different aspects, different things in my life. You need somebody non-judgmental. You need somebody who you think that you don't, they don't know you, and you can be free in talking what you want to talk. And of course, see, this is one of the impression, we, the guy who developed this technology, maybe he developed, with this vision, and he don't even know me, but he got the benefit out. I got the benefit out of that technology. It's a every entrepreneur required a good friends. Every entrepreneur required a good network of people, especially same mind, the same strength. Of course, now I have talking to a lot of people, still, of course, it's there. I have a long way to go, but it is important. It is most important thing. You're not alone. The entrepreneurs is not alone, or it's not going to happen doing alone. No. Now we have a lot of facilities. Now, the Better Health is one of the technology, or we have a lot of other networking events, a lot of shows happening. We can go, we can talk to the people, same-minded people. Who knows? You talk to 100 people, out of 100 people, 5 people will be having a same mindset of what you have, and they will be sharing your knowledge. The good entrepreneurs, they love to share their experience. The good entrepreneurs love to support another entrepreneur. Yeah. So I seen a lot of people, telling me what to do, what not to do. And I did the same thing for a lot of other people. There's one of my secretary who been working for me. Now she started the business. I'm very happy. I'm very proud of it. you know and we exchange ideas. Even now she left the organization, but still, even though we are happy in having a good communication. She's running a business, I'm running a business, and she gives some different thought process, and I give a different thought process to her. That's how the business works. Do you understand what I mean? So
Successful people are not gatekeepers.
exactly, they're not gatekeepers. They help you to grow. They are ladders. They are going to operate like a ladder, and you also do the same. You help the others and they will help you. That's how the growth happens.
Oh, interesting. So you support families, and stonemasons across the UK. Why is community so important to you?
It is really important. That's the one of the reason I have started the SAP Foundation. It is a community based project, like we are doing with the initiative of this project. Like, sometimes you don't know where to talk, whom to talk,
Mm,
how to
mm,
talk, and
mm.
what to talk. And the SAP Foundation, that's how it's started. So it's for the people who are going through their situation, which they don't know where to have a communication. We are creating a number. It's a toll-free number. We want to do it. And through that toll-free number, they can talk to the counselors. They can share their family things which they're going through. And we want to do that. We want to access that for because in abroad, in India, only people who have the financial capacity, they can able to talk to another people. But here, so I thought, okay, let's start building it. Let's build something even for the normal people. They have to share. Someone has to tell them, right, that you are wrong, that you are right. Counseling is one of the key thing, so which we are building it up.
That is fantastic. That is really, really good to know. I think the final question before I put you through the quick fire round is, what would you love your legacy to be?
Sorry, can you repeat?
I said the final question before putting you through the quick fire round is, what would you love your legacy to be?
We want to touch millions of families. We want to touch millions of families across the globe, and that's what I want to build it.
Absolutely amazing. So I'm going to take you through the Pacific Ring of Fire, but I have more plans. Are you ready to rumble?
Of course, of course.
Okay. Let's do this. 5 quick fire round questions. So number one, what is one mindset you believe every entrepreneur must master?
No pain, no gain.
Love that. What is one failure that became a blessing for you?
My life, personal life.
Mm.
It's made me to run, because I thought I can't, I can't do it. A lot of the things I thought like I can't do it, which I'm doing it right now.
Mm.
A lot of things which I'm doing it right now with the God's grace. And I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing right now. We grown nearly 700 to 800% in the last 3 years,
Mm.
and which is it's a massive increase. We were in 2022. I was having a less than 4,000 or 5,000 visitors, users, and now we are 50,000 to 70,000 users. Imagine from where to where we are right now. So it's always something hard is happening in our life. It is happening with the purpose. The God doing with the purpose. If something is going in your life out, it's okay
Mm.
because the God doing with the purpose. So I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing right now if that is not going to happen.
So, what is one book that changed your life, thinking forever?
Bible.
I knew you were gonna say the Bible. Outside of the Bible, what other book would you say?
I read a lot of novels and a lot of motivational stories, and manifesting is the second important thing which I uh, uh, and I read everything related with the management books, other stuff. I don't stick on to one single book because if you can see, I love to read the topics and the detail of that particular book.
Okay.
But the Bible is maximum impact, which is doing in our life.
I'll give you a solid recommendation. So, for the management books, check this one out: Exponential Organizations.
Explanation organization.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it's a book by Salim Ismail. Exponential Organizations. I think I might still have two copies. If I still have two copies, I might keep you one. But
Sure.
yeah, it's a solid read. Wow.
Sure.
So what is one thing you wish you learned 10 years earlier?
Coding. I haven't completed a proper degree. I did everything in the correspondence. I did the schooling, as I said to you earlier. I did the schooling only. I study whatever I was there in the school. I haven't had a time to sit and study later.
Mm.
I was working more, and even now, I always think about I should have learned the coding. I would have been creating a lot more better solution.
These days there are shortcuts to it, right? Even myself, I didn't really learn much coding, but like I'm glad for the AI tools that assist me to bypass like the levels of coding that I
Sure.
did not learn by myself. So
True.
it's amazing. It's amazing. You just need to be able to, conceive it and like use your limited knowledge. And of course, guys out there these days that know how to code with the programmers that you can always hire DevOps at, highly affordable rates as well. So it's the technology has made the world easier. So okay, the last thing is, what is one message you would want to leave for every person listening in IT plus countries?
Don't give up.
Hmm.
Someone, someone's opinion doesn't have to be your reality.
Mm,
Don't give up.
I love that.
It's
Don't give up.
okay. No one is. It's okay. You did a lot of mistakes. We do a lot of mistakes in our life. It's okay. It's okay. You still have opportunity to put everything right. If you are living, if you have a breath until last day, you can do every single step to put the things in right. So it's okay to you have failed a lot. It's okay. You don't have the knowledge of what you require, but it's okay. Whatever you have, put that and then just keep going forward. Keep going forward. You shouldn't think that put yourself in a place, oh, they said this and they thought this. What you thinking about yourself is the matter.
Mm,
That's the matter.
I love that. I love that. It's okay to make mistakes. And of course, the audience, you guys have heard it. It's been an absolutely amazing session with a GMS Kumar. At this point, everybody is a Mayan. Wow. So, from me to the audience, I always say this, always go for something in your lives. Conceive, believe, strive to thrive and achieve. And of course, love and respect to the one and only GMS Kumar. We love you, we appreciate you. And of course, I always say this, that when a person shares their time with you, they share their life with you, because the SI unit for measuring life is time. So thank you very much for sharing your life and your time with us today to educate us and to motivate us. You're highly appreciated. And of course, we wish for you. And of course, we pray for you as well. We manifest for you, greater heights, you know, more money, more health, more wealth, and of course, more what? More what? More stones and more crypto. Yeah, more blessings, brother. God bless. God bless. AI is taking away jobs. Oh, I am AI. I did more like see man, but I always make the joke that I'm not coming for your jobs, only coming to assist you with your jobs. We've had the VP of Money 2020, Zach Pettit, that's VP Global FinTech Strategy. He's a very big enthusiast of AI. And, at Money 2020, I think that was last year. Yeah, I think the one in Amsterdam. They had the one in Las Vegas in October. So he said, AI is not coming for your jobs, right? Your job is going to be taken by that person that knows how to use AI. But I'm going to put you on the spot here. Do you believe AI will create more jobs or replace them in the industries that you serve?
See, the technology always going to remove some of the people from the employment. It is definitely yes, because when there was a time